Good evening you guys and welcome to today's video. I hope you had a lovely week. So here we are again for another new one, for another week. Today we are on a different setting because finally we started to build our reading corner in our reading room. The shelves are up. I did build everything and it was such an exciting day building everything together with my boyfriend, and it was just so lovely. So we are a completely new setting, completely new aesthetic, and I'm super excited to move along and see how it goes, and honestly to see what I can create with this little room. And at the moment it's probably my favorite room at the house. I love it so much, and from now on our videos are going to happen here and I'm just so in love with it. I'm honestly so in love with the shelves and how the books are looking, and I have all my favorites displayed. I'm able now to get more special editions and I'm so excited. However, that's not the business for today. Today we are doing our January wrap-up. That's going to be our first wrap-up of 2026 and I'm so excited because actually we were able to achieve everything we wanted. So get yourself comfortable, get yourself a drink. I got myself the Starbucks pistachio velvet latte, which you guys know I love, and I'm super excited. So if you're comfortable, you have your drink, and we don't have anything else to say, let's get on with this video. For January, we aimed to read 3 books, which was not a lot in the beginning when I thought about it, but then after deciding which books I wanted to read, I actually thought, you know what, it makes a lot of sense. So the first book that I wanted to finish was the one that I was already reading in December, which was The Christmas Figs, and then I decided to dive into Boys of Torment. If you know Boys of Torment series by Chloe Walsh, this is a huge series. Each book is ginormous, and honestly, apart from me working on a normal job, I don't have a lot of time at home. So it was actually kind of incredible to be able to read these 2 books of Boys of Torment. They are huge books, which means that I counted them as 2 each. In my head it just makes sense. So without further ado, let's get on and see what are the ratings for the January books that we read. The first book that we read in January was The Christmas Figs by Lucy Score, and this was a Christmas book. I started this book back in December, and honestly I tried to finish, but so many things happened in my life that I never got around to finish it. So I finished it in January, and honestly it didn't feel as weird as I thought it would feel because it was a Christmas book. We were not in Christmas season anymore. However, it was actually alright, and I honestly did love this book, so I was super excited. So we have, this is The Fixer, book number 2. I've never read anything by by Lucy Score. I'm already jumping to the next author, but I've never read anything by Lucy Score. This was my first book from her, and I absolutely loved it. I gave this book 5 stars, and my only review was perfection. This book is Enemies to Lovers, a star, like a TV show star, and a very grumpy city mayor. Honestly, it has spice. It has funny moments, it has heartfelt moments, and it's quite easy and to read and quite fast-paced, and I loved it. This book was everything I needed and more. The chapters are quite small, which makes it quite easy to just get along into the book, and I absolutely love that. The cover, it's absolutely unique, it's lovely, and I tapped it a little bit from all the moments. He's a single dad and the town mayor, and she is the TV show star that everyone loves and thinks she's such a superficial woman, when in reality her family and her friends know how deep she cares for everyone. And once she gets into the town, she has been there before and she returns, and he actually hates her in the beginning. He does not absolutely stand her at all. He just feels like she's just so superficial and that kind of woman from reality shows that doesn't care about anything and anyone else except her fame. However, he gets quite surprised when she shows her heart, and honestly, I loved it. This romance was everything and more, and if you are looking into building your Christmas list for books in 2026, I would say 100% go for it. This is absolutely insane and congratulations to the author. This was perfection. I loved every single moment of this book. There was literally not a single thing that I would change. There was not a single thing that I would say, oh, it was cringe. It wasn't. It was just perfect. I loved it. So this was my first book, my first finish of 2026, and it was a 5 stars, so we are kind of in a good way. For our second book of January, so I think it feels like this was just the beginning, not the second, but it feels like the first book of 2026 just because I started the other one in December. However, we started Boys of Torment by Chloe Walsh. This is Biting 13. This is book number 1. Listen, I had no clue what I was in for when I started reading this book. I only knew it was heartbreak, but I had literally no idea there was 800 pages of pure heartbreak, yearning, and devastation. I honestly didn't. I loved every single second of this book. My review was, I believe it was 5 stars, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars. So this book, I gave it 5 stars, and my review was pure heartbreak, pure yearning, pure devastation, but at the same time just pure love. This book is something else, completely off the charts. Love the characters, how multi-layered and realistic they are, and how strong the relationships they build are actually. Finally understanding the boom, fucking boom. It's a whole new level. Honestly guys, when I got to that part and he said boom, boom, fucking boom for the first time, and it just said boom, fucking boom, da. And I'm like, no, don't break me like this. Honestly, I loved it. In the beginning, I thought it was just so hard, and her story was so heartbreaking that I honestly didn't have anything. And then Gypsy comes along, and honestly, I ran out of every single tab for this book because I tabbed it so much at the end. Gypsy is funny, okay, and he just brings this lightweight into the story. Just, I don't know, I just feel like he brightens a lot of the story, and that's really important because now I cannot wait to read about his story and the Claire story, and I'm honestly excited. So we gave this one 5 stars. I did cry at the end, not just at the end, but the part where she has to go home after being out with Johnny, and Joey is with her and he's not going to go in after her mom miscarriages. And when he does not go in, that was the moment that it broke me, that she was going to be alone, and I just cried and cried and cried and sobbed for hours because I could not stop. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning in my bed and I was just crying. I honestly loved this book so much, and I want to say that I regretted not reading it earlier, but to be honest, I don't. I loved every single second of it, and I think it just started my year right. Even though there's a lot of devastation and heartbreak, it just started my year right, and I needed that. So I'm kind of in love with this book and this series and these characters, and finally understanding the hi Shannon, hi Johnny is just something else. Understanding the boom, boom, fucking boom is also another level. I just love every single thing about these characters. I love how multi-layered they are, the struggles, how reality is actually being described, and how passionate they are for each other, even between the friends and between the female and the male main characters. I just love every single thing so much, and it just reminds me that I don't live there. I don't live in Cork. I don't have that group of friends, and now I don't know what to do with myself. And honestly, I'm not sure if I want to know, but I wish I could live in here, and I wish I could live in this book for the rest of my life because it is that good. For our third book of 2026, we continue with the Boys of Torment series. We have Keeping 13, Boys of Torment book number 2 by Chloe Walsh. As you guys can see, I haven't finished yet. I will finish it today and tomorrow, so by the time you see this video, I will already have it finished. As you can see, it kind of, you know, I went a bit overboard with the tabbing. I don't know what happened. I think after reading this one and kind of realizing at the end all the things that were happening that I wanted to remember and started tabbing, I could not stop myself for the life of me, I couldn't. So I literally dedicated my life to tabbing this book and every single moment that I loved in this story, because it is that good. These are my tabs. I even chose extra tabs, and all of them are almost at the end. I have practically nothing in here, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to make that, because I don't have a lot of tabs at the moment. But I give this one 5 stars, or I will give this one 5 stars, even though I haven't finished it. I know it's gonna be, I know it in my head it's gonna be 5 stars. I absolutely, now finally the romance is developing in here physically, because I feel like in here was more of an emotional connection, and in here you move on to the teenager physical side of a relationship. And honestly, I'm loving Johnny Kavanagh. You have a dirty mind, you do. I absolutely love it. The amount of times I literally sat in bed laughing with this book was actually insane. However, I did cry on the first page. I literally cried on the first chapter when she wakes up in a hospital, and I couldn't take it, because I couldn't believe that that actually happened to her, and that she was so unwell after what happened at her house that she ended up in hospital. So when I read that part of her not being well and then Joey bringing her to the hospital, I honestly sobbed. I sobbed, and it was literally just a few hours after reading this. So I sobbed so hard. It should be illegal, because I felt like I got completely dehydrated for the amount of times that I cried. I do love this book. I am absolutely in love with these characters, even more than I was in the first book. It's written beautifully. Her writing is absolutely insane. It's light, and it's so and flowery in a light and refreshing way, and that is so important, because I think if it was a very heavy writing, it wouldn't be right for the story. The writing just brings out, because it's so light, just brings out the heaviness and the importance of the contents in the story, and I absolutely love that. Again, Gypsy and Mami K honestly have my heart. I absolutely love those two. They are so funny, and I lost count the amount of times I laughed, and I just sat there giggling and just loving their characters. The relationships that are being built in this story, not just the main characters, but the main characters with the minor characters, for example, like Joey, Gypsy, Claire and Lazy, and Mami K and Darren. Even Darren, I don't even like Darren, but for some reason I empathize with him. But yeah, the relationship is absolutely insane, and I love learning and reading about them. I would recommend these books to every single person and their mom. This is just something that you need to read once in your lifetime at least, and I'm so excited because I get to read this for the first time this year, and it just brings so much light into my life, because I haven't been able to put these books down, even though I'm a night shift nurse and I work 12-hour shifts at least 3 or 4 times a week. It's absolutely insane that I'm just so obsessed with the story that I cannot even put it down when I should be resting or when I should be sleeping after my shifts. It just feels insane to fall in love so much with these characters and with the story in this way, and I absolutely love it. I think the author Chloe Walsh did an amazing job with this story, did an amazing job with these characters, how well built they are, how multi-layered, how you can connect so many dots and you can just learn so much about the other characters and their stories, but at the same time it leaves you wanting more, and that's why you have other books. It means something so important to me, and I love it. So thank you so much for your incredible work. It's absolutely insane that I get to start my 2026 with these books, and hopefully I'll move on to Redeeming 6. And honestly, this is a 5-star series for me. January wrap up. So we have 3 books that we finished. One we have finished, and the other 2 that we finished in January 2026, and I'm super excited because actually it was such a good month. It was absolutely insane to be able to read these stories, and I will be forever grateful for the authors to put themselves out there and just release their work. Thank you. You make my life so beautiful, and I love it so much. So it was a great way to start my year, and honestly, I'm excited about what is coming in February. I have a big holiday to the Caribbean, and honestly I won't be able to take books, so I think I'm gonna pause. My next read would be Redeeming Six, which is right behind me, but I don't think I'll be able to read that because I don't want to take it on the flight and completely destroy it between the beach, the pool and travel. So I think I might just take my Kindle and read something else and then come back from the holidays and dive back into Boys of Torment again. So I'll decide what I'll do, but I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, this is our January wrap up, and I love this month so much. It's been such a great month of learning opportunities and reading, and it's absolutely lovely. Without further ado, I will let you go. Thank you so much for staying in this video with me, for coming along and taking part in my journey. I love every single one of you so much, and I am forever grateful that you watch my content and that you like it, hopefully. So I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!